Well, we're back. We're back and we're ready to go with the Silent. Perhaps you've heard of him. Sorry, I don't know why I'm making sure that I'm lined up here. We've only done up to... So, again, to set the stage, if somehow you are just joining us in media res. I started playing Slay the Spire again when we were on holiday in the springtime. I started playing as a defect because I was having trouble beating the defect on 820. So we did 1 to 20 on the defect. Then we said, why not send it on the Watcher? We did 1 to 20 on the Watcher. People were enjoying it. I said, let's do 1 to 20 on the Ironclad. I have done 1 to 20 on the Silent before. It was the last one that I was able to do the first time I beat all the 820s in Slay the Spire. Embarrassingly, it took me like a year and a half or something. So hopefully we're not going to struggle with that as much this time. And I tend to like the Silent. You know, what are the themes? Cards that give you a payoff if you discard them or if you've discarded a card this turn. Shivs, which are 0 cost, low damage attacks, but you can buff them in various ways. Poison. Poison's a very common one. And I don't remember the rest because it's been 6 months since I played as the Silent. Let's remember that we are on Ascension 1 and just choose a card. Shivs deal 4 additional damage, 10 block, 10 damage, or cost 1 less for every card discarded this turn. Very good if you draw it on the same turn as Survivor, which does enable a discard, but I feel like Dash is like, it's kind of a no-brainer, right? Or am I maybe a complete idiot when it comes to evaluating these cards? It's been suggested, it's been suggested many times. This does 10 damage. I gotta, like, start from the ground up when it comes to, like, reworking my assumptions for how to play as these characters. This gives us enough block. We kill you with the neutralize, because that allows us to do more damage to the acid slime. Okay, we're getting down to brass tacks, okay? Now, what build am I going to try to run here? I have no idea, brother. It would be foolish to answer that question before the cards show up. I do... A discard deck might be the most fun for me, because you get, like, lots of interactions. Blur is kind of like a soft barricade. You keep the block on your next turn, and you could stack it. Poison, it adds up, but for me, it's hard to argue with the free 11 damage. For me, it's kind of hard to argue with 275 gold, and I think, you know, I might be accused of maybe taking a little advantage of the fact that we're on a lower level ascension to maybe approach the paths from a riskier angle than we've been doing on Ironclad A20. But it's a whole different mindset, brother, to get yourself in A1 versus A20. Like, right now I feel like we're on autopilot, to be quite frank. Expertise is great if you have discard enablers too. I mean, it's just depending on when you play it, it could be good regardless. I'm going to take a deflect. I don't necessarily think it's incredible, but part of the fun here is going to be that I don't really know what's good and what's bad, or at least I have to remember. I mean, obviously I remember the fine points. Like, for example, if you get poison and you get, what is it called? Cataclysm? The one that triples the catalyst, then you know that that's good. If you get footwork, your dex goes crazy. This is another draw discard enabler. I really like it, but footwork kind of fits what we're building so far a little bit better. And you know what? One of my favorite cards, and I don't think this is going to surprise anybody because it's a very well-liked card. One of my favorite Silent cards is Alchemize. 1 cost, gain a random potion. I like that how the classes have, like, I mean, unique potions as well. Ghost in a Jar gives you intangible for a turn. We are still kind of lacking any form of damage. So I'm going to take a backflip, but it is, like, with the knowledge that at some point we're going to need to add some attacks to this deck if we ever want to do anything at all. So what would help? What would help? I feel like Lizard Tail is just nice to give you a little breathing room. I'll take a Sucker Punch, and I'll cut a Regret. Just make the deck a little bit more aggressive. I'm not used to this, man. Easier enemies, 3 potion slots, like... This is a dream come true for a guy like me. 10 damage, 10 damage, okay. I mean, I'm not really concerned about how things are going right now, partly because, like, what's the point? And then partly because it's Ascension 1, which is not my way of saying we're gonna win, guaranteed. It's just my way of saying if it's gonna go wrong, it's probably not gonna go wrong immediately, which is what we're used to lately. But it's nice to... Sometimes people ask me, they say, NL, what's your favorite Slay the Spire character? I love all my Slay the Spire children equally, except the Watcher. The Watcher is the most powerful, but I do the worst with them. I like the Defect, I like the Ironclad. I like whichever one I happen to be playing, like, at that moment, I think. Can I tell you something? That, like, this is a shocking, path to victory for me to be suggesting. What if we, and just hear me out here, what if we were to buy the Prism, which allows you to get any cards as whatever character you presently are, instead of them being all class limited, and this becomes like a body slam deck, because we've literally added 2 attacks, and one of them exhausts. Now, mind you, we're not being hit, like, at all. So there's a bonus going on here, but... Or maybe we shouldn't be overly concerned with, you know, the calculations of the run, but... And there's also just the element of, like... It'd be nice for a guy like me to just kill the enemies a little bit faster. If that would perhaps be possible, but I don't know. I don't know. Right now, though, I mean, I almost want to apologize because I'm embarrassed that we're not taking more damage. Put a card from your hand on top of your draw pile. It costs 0 until played. If this card is discarded from your hand, gain energy. We don't really have a discard enable. It's a skip. I hate to skip, but I think it's a skip. I do think we'll want strength against you, and there's really no reason not to get this party started straight away. This is probably the worst elite for us to be fighting right now, but whatever. Alas, it is what it is. Nevertheless, he persisted. How about this is exactly what we want to see. Weaken you as long as possible, and then dash, without complaining, just observing the situation. Dash is like our only attack that's worth anything, so I'm happy to have it. Obviously, we do need to hit you, of course. We're not really taking that much damage either. I totally got to recalibrate myself to Ascension 1, man. The Courier. Shops are cheaper. Okay. It must be Skewer. At least Skewer gives us, like, top-end damage potential. Is this the same game, man? Like, no disrespect, but this feels like a joke. The enemies are not, like, rooting on my downfall immediately. Like, I just misplayed there. I thought for sure that dash was going to kill you, but I was getting more block than attack, but I had it backwards. And we didn't suffer, like, 20 damage as a result of that? Are you sure? So Unload works very well in a discard synergy, but I still think we just need more damage. And we should be, like, elite hunting, especially because we have Lizard's Tail. Let's not fall into bad habits, you know, just because we're on a lower level of Ascension. But also, with me having said that, I don't really know what good habits are right now. So, because I haven't played as this character in like 6 months. You're done, bud. They're calling it the clutchest potion of all time. Piercing Whale is a good card. It's not damage, but it's a good card. That's what people tell me, so that's what I'm going to rely on. But maybe I'll just use it enough until I actually agree with it instead of just echoing the idea. Give me a footwork. Footwork ahead? Gee, I sure hope it does. My podiatrist, when I come in, he doesn't know I have Monroe's neuropathy. I may or may not have Monroe's neuropathy. Sometimes I get a pain in the ball of my foot, and I've diagnosed myself on WebMD. It's not debilitating. It's at worst annoying. And you're going to say, NL, why haven't you seen a doctor? Well, because the wait to see a podiatrist is like 8 months. So I wanted to make the appointment 16 months ago. I said 8 months, I'm not waiting that long. And there's a lesson in there. I think I would certainly say there's a lesson in there. By the way, this fight, you might be like, NL, you're about to die. I don't think that's true. And B, I kind of had a feeling that this was how this fight was going to go down. So, wait, if I hit you for 4, we're chilling. Just because, again, we don't have any, like, top-level damage, man. We got Skewer. I'm happy to have it, don't get me wrong, but we're in a bit of, like, a war of attrition for sure. But we get through it. We heal to full because we're on Ascension 1. Phantasmal Killer. Next turn, your attacks double damage, or deal double damage. Unload, 14 damage, discard. The only thing that makes sense to me is Corpse Explosion. It applies 6 poison and also gives us, like, wave killing potential. So maybe we are a poison build, and I've just been, like, doubting it. I think we need to get cards. So I am going to take Calling Bell. Even though I'm obviously very tempted to take energy relics, because that's what I was locked into on 820 for better or for worse. Okay, good. Fossilized Helix is amazing. Strike Dummy is damage. Happy Flower, I may or may not ever pay attention to it, but we can't argue that that's its fault. That one's pretty much on me, top to bottom. And what a beautiful Piercing Wail, man. Like, we have nothing to fear on turn 1 against the, and not to mention we have Fossilized Helix. Like, sure, like, are there things that I wish were a little different on this run? Yeah, but I can't really complain about it. Can I hit you with something crazy? You do damage to him because a Corpse Explosion then is, like, lethal on both of you. Then you need to draw it, which can be a bit of a pickle sometimes. You literally just play this because a Corpse Explosion... Oh, it doesn't kill you because I need to punch through your block, but a Corpse Explosion and a Strike would do it. No, it wouldn't, brother. No, it wouldn't. This guy's going to get away, which means that guy's going to get away. Because there's no way I'm putting out that kind of damage on one. Well, okay. You stole like 120 gold, man. Withdraw, I know I can make a Concentrate work. I don't think it's upgraded, it's a great card. I just don't think we need any more blocks, man. I'm sorry to say it. Let's gain 275 gold and immediately use half of Omamori, but I'm thrilled to have had the opportunity to do so. So what do I want to see? I'm trying to think. I mean, now, like, I can never remember the name of the card. Catalyze? We'll get there. Because rest assured, by the time we get to, like, a higher level Ascension, we'll be, like, begging for Catalyze on every single run. That would be very nice. In order to double the poison and make Corpse Explosion hit faster. I don't really want a second Piercing Wail. We're not a Shiv build. I like Bag of Prep. I think it would be awesome to have extra strength against elites, and I should probably be going more towards elites. I think it would be beautiful to upgrade some attacks. I'm gonna cut a defend, actually, because we have a lot of defense, and then I'm gonna upgrade 2 attacks. And that's fine, man. Those do 12 damage each now. I'm not sweating it at all. And now I'm gonna go on a freaking tear, okay? I am going to be elite maxing with the best of them. Now this is a good attack, but this does 12, so it does less damage, but we would take 0, which is nice, and it means that I can preserve my potions and my Piercing Wail for a later turn. By the way, I had the math wrong again. Are you okay? I'm okay. I'm just doing the math wrong, all right? Now, I know you get stronger, but the great thing about only having, like, 2 good cards in our deck that do damage is that we definitely have a great excuse to be a little block heavy on turns in which we don't draw those cards. But the math is, we assume that N is equal to the stacks of poison. Poison's total damage is N times N minus 1 divided by 2, right? So we would do 6, 5, 4, which is 15. 3, 2, 1. which is 21. 6 times 5 divided by 2 is not the mathematical formula that I thought it was. Chat, can I get some help on this one? We've derived the formula at some point. I remember that. Let's draw first. I wanted to see not that. Anyway, long story short, I was debating whether I play the poison, but I think our strikes are good enough that we just play the strikes instead. The poison is decent but too slow. And don't be afraid, you take a little bit of damage. We don't have burning blood, but like, yeah, you take a little damage, you accept it, man. Maybe we could, this is like a dangerous line of reasoning. But I mean, you might as well knock it out here early, right? So let's say you had 4 poison. We know 4 poison is going to do 4, 3, 2, 1, which is 10. So, oh, you know what it is? It's n times n plus 1 divided by 2. Yes, because 6 poison, 6 times 7 divided by 2 is 21. All right. We were close. I will take extra dex. I recognize that, again, we need damage, but let's bump Corpse Explosion. We probably bump, like, Predator next. This is a great Corpse Explosion fight, though, for sure. So let's focus on probably the weakest one. You're going to die on this turn. You're not going to take anybody with you, because you have the lowest HP, but I don't know if we were getting... Well, we could have done the math, but I don't know if we were getting anyone else close. But I think it's a pretty good use of a potion, nonetheless. 1 attack, huh? It kills, it stings, but you're cooked. On the bright side, can I say something? I can't remember the last time I had this many relics. At the start of each combat, add 3 shivs into your hand. Do we want a setup? Put a card from your hand on top of your draw pile. It costs 0 until played. I don't think so. I don't think it fits with what we're doing. A Vira with our shivs and our backstab, it hits like a son of a gun. And then even then, buddy, like a Corpse Explosion here. Just work with me for a second. A Corpse Explosion is going to do not a staggering amount of damage. That would be a bit of a exaggeration, but it's going to do a lot of crowd control for us here. And it's going to keep you on the back foot until I draw 3 defends on the next turn, man. What are you doing to me? I can do 18 damage, and then you don't attack next turn in all likelihood. So let's just play this, dump anything, and weaken you. You're already weak. My bad. Listen, buddy. It's going to take me a minute to... There's an ascension, and there is... And pun intended, I suppose, if it makes you feel better. There's an ascension, and there is like a deprecation that happens in Slay the Spire, okay? So the ascension is when you start from a relatively low level of knowledge, and then you build up good habits and instincts and so on and so forth. And then the descension is what happens when you get stuck on A20 and you tilt and you just click on things out of muscle memory instead of like puzzling it out for yourself. We're happy to be on the ascension, right? You should enjoy it because like we're at the trough right now. And then around Ascension 17, 18, we'll be at the peak, and then 19, 20 will start to fall down. So I'm happy to take a Blade Dance, because we have gained a little bit of strength. So with a little bit of strength, it might not seem like much. That's amazing, man. It might not seem like much, but a little bit of strength adds up, dude. Also, the Threaded Needle is beautiful. It especially adds up when we had like nothing going for us prior to it, so I'm very happy to see it. You know what? Apparently it's a Shiv build. Apparently it's a Shiv build with a little bit of a Corpse Explosion kicker. You gotta go, buddy. You simply gotta go. You're so close to dying to Corpse Explosion. It's actually like, it's embarrassing.
Were I to piercing wail, you would do 6 and you would do 2. That's 8 total damage. I mean, we could kill you. We'd use our plated armor. The thing is, like, if possible, I would rather not use plated armor, right? That's one way to do it. Or not plated armor, sorry, fossilized helix. The longer you can keep the fossilized helix, the happier we're going to be. I think what we're really looking for is, so more Shiv enabling cards, for sure. Not, I just could have just killed you maybe, but not encountering the Timekeeper would be a big bonus. And also getting, like, particularly Shuriken. Kunai, I wouldn't kick it out of the run. It's nice to have the dex, but something that aids our ability to do damage. Heal Hook. I don't think we're really consistently applying enough weakness. Dude, okay, sign me up, because it can't be bad. Enchiridion gives us a power. Here's something crazy. I'm gonna rest. We'll probably be resting more as a character that doesn't deliberately heal themselves. Okay, so free power. Love it. We could all use that. Especially as the wintertime approaches. You see the hydro bills, man? Jeez Louise. Check your window ceiling. Just studying it. It would be nice to get to 14 block. Because on 14 block, which we now have, we will use Fossilized Helix on you. But let's start working one of you over. We're gonna have to take him out. And honestly, like, Noxious Fumes not upgraded is not really, like, good. I mean, I was trying to be a little bit more polite about it, but it adds up very, 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 literally, like, as slowly as possible, essentially. Surely, I can find a way to do 6 damage to you, which will also kill you and do tons of damage to you. Beautiful. So I'm sure you're sick of hearing me say this, especially now that we're on A0 or A1 instead of A20. This run is like, I feel like it's a bit of a trap game right now. Oh, I forgot about Unceasing Top because we don't have Ascender's Bane in our deck. If you're not familiar with a trap game, maybe you don't watch sports, can I explain to you what a trap game is? It's a fake thing that fans of great teams use to perpetuate their victim complex even when they cheer for a team that's above the median level in whatever sport they're watching. So trap game is when you have a game on the schedule against a team that you know is worse, but you are worried that you're overconfident that you're going to win. So, and I know you're going to say, no, NL, you just don't know what it's like to be a fan of insert team here. I've been to a lot of team subreddits in my line of work. They all say it. They don't know, dude, they don't know. The Canucks have a tendency to lose these. The Canucks always make the opposing team's backup goalies look great. No, the Kings always make the backup goalies look great. No. Dude, you wouldn't understand. The Carolina Panthers always make second-string quarterbacks look like Jaden Daniels, okay? So, now I'm using it in exactly the same way to say that even though we should win this run probably pretty easily, because it's Ascension 1 and I've played the Silent a lot before in my life, I'm setting the stage that we may lose out of overconfidence. Now, if I puzzle it out, I think, and this is my least taken card of these 3 on average, I think you have to take Phantasmal Killer, man. Malaise is a great card. We have enough defense, I think. And there's 2 bosses that purge debuffs. We're struggling with damage. Glass Knife is a good attack. Don't get me wrong, but it's a little late in the game to be excited about it. I feel like Phantasmal Killer actually solves the problems we're looking for. And you know what? No potions. I'm definitely not feeling excited about not seeing Intense when I'm not used to playing this character. We should, because we have Lizard's Tail, we should continue to Elite Max, I think. And I don't know. I doubt I'll regret it.
1,000 cut. You know what's nice about Enchiridion too? It kind of gives me a little preview or a reminder of like what these cards are that I forgot about. So 1,000 cuts, like it's a card that's kind of exhausting. But it's hard to deny that it's, you know, doing some fantastic work here. Every time we play a card, do 1 damage to all enemies. When upgraded, do 2 damage. Like that's pretty sizable, man. It would fit nicely in this deck, even though this deck is not really like a Shiv deck. This deck is kind of like, nothing. You're dead, man. But just because it's nothing doesn't mean it can't win. Let's not call it nothing. Let's call it, let's go Magic the Gathering mode and call it good stuff. Okay, straight up, we can beat this encounter. Wraith form is very helpful, and the other secret is, Corpse Explosion. We just have to play Corpse Explosion. Even if we draw it super early and we would like rather play something else, Corpse Explosion is the way to go because it basically kills both of them at once, whether it's on a delay or otherwise. So this is great, dude. This is a free relic. I couldn't be happier. And the Wraith form came extremely clutch. What do you got for me? Mango. Probably don't really need the HP, but that's okay. And at this point, like, I just think it's too late to start, like, talking about poison, to be honest with you. I just have a hard time believing it's the way to go. I have a very easy time believing that, like, shivs are the way to go, though. Now, the problem is, I can't attack you. But I can just play a lot of defense to do 1 damage each, and like occasionally sneak in an attack, and over time you're gonna feel the burn, man. You're gonna feel the burn on that one. Poison, also very nice. Can't dispute it. So 9 poison is 45 damage over time. So effectively, Commander, your men are already dead, and now you're super dead. Not a medical term, I think. I think that one might be a me original. I kind of, like, acrobatics, I don't want to fall into the trap of thinking I can only take it on a build that is discard forward. Maybe we could also get away with just taking it when we're relying on drawing, like, 1 huge card to win the game. And we kind of are, because like Corpse Explosion on hallway fights is very critical. I don't really want to kill you. Because Corpse Explosion on you gets 3 kills. The problem, obviously, is if we don't draw Corpse Explosion on this turn or the next turn, then we're in for a little bit of a battle. But I'm willing to roll the dice. I'm more than willing to roll the dice. I'm very happy right now. We have a good chance. I mean, if we play this, we have an extraordinarily good chance to draw it next turn. And we use Fossilized Helix. I must be stupid, man. Because, like, in my head right now, we didn't draw it. In my head right now, I'm like, wow. I'm playing so much better on 11 damage, thank you. I'm doing so much better on Ascension 0. Why can't I play like this when I'm on Ascension 20? I'll give you the answer, brother. Because it's harder. Obviously. This was not good, but it's the worst that it could have gone, and it still didn't go that bad. So, like, there's nothing to cry about. Everything's okay. You guys are still toasted. Cloak and Dagger fits what we're trying to do. We don't have to dodge the Timekeeper. Apply 4 poison at the start of combat. I actually think it's like a little not necessary. At the start of your turn, draw 1 and discard 1. It becomes 0 cost. It's always nice to filter. I don't really think... It's Dono Deca, right? Caltrops might be a little too slow for Dono Deca. And I think we cut more defense. We have, like, better defense in the deck than attacks. But really, this one, I think we're kind of like, we're a relic hunter, to be honest. Like, our relics are what's gonna win us the game, hopefully. Possibly lose us the game, but I think win us the game. But turn 1's gonna suck. We're gonna take 12. Which actually means we might be forced to rest, but I don't know, we'll see. If I don't have to play Piercing Whale, I'd rather save it because it exhausts. I think this has been like a pretty good... Yeah, double damage next turn. Smart play. I think this has been like a pretty good reminder of how to play as the Silent. Even if it's not like perfectly synergistic. We've dabbled in a few different synergies at least. And Corpse Explosion is like just a very fun card. Let's get a chunk in on you, man. We got a lot of front-loaded damage. We might actually just... Yeah, we finish the fight immediately. I would take a second Phantasmal. We need the damage because we need to kill the bosses very quickly. Like, Dono Deca is a race. Timekeeper is kind of like turn-by-turn puzzle, and Awaken One is like a deck puzzle. Should backflip? We're gonna Cloak and Dagger. We're gonna play Strikes. Okay, so play this first, and then like ascending order of attack damage. That was an insanely great first turn. We did 290 damage, man. We would like to... It's crazy, but we want to dump Skewer. I guess you could dump Curse of the Bell. Yeah, I was right. It was crazy. What you're suggesting was insane. Now, the problem is, again, our deck is like so front-loaded. We really do... after the first turn, when we get a backstab and 3 shivs for free, and the enemy's vulnerable, like, we struggle a little bit, but it's okay. Play that. Play that. We do want to do this. Shivs do 19. Okay, start there. I mean, I'm feeling like a genius for the Phantasmal Killer pickup, to be honest with you. Again, it's a card I very, very, very rarely take. Possibly much to the chagrin of my audience, but... If anything, I'm proud of myself. Yeah, why not? If anything, I'm proud of myself because I think I usually think like, oh, I can't take Phantasmal Killer, my damage is too bad. But in actuality, our damage is so bad here that we needed the doubling to get to some degree of damage that wasn't embarrassing. Accuracy? You'll probably play Phantasmal. Sorry, I know I'm talking like a nerd. I'm trying to remember how to play as this character, okay? So just cut me some slack, Jack. Sorry to bust out the 4-letter words. I'm not above it, though. I'm not above it. Oh! Unceasing Top! My nemesis. Why? Because I never remember that I have it. 12 damage. Wow, that's only 7. Well, it's actually like 11 block. I can live with that. Should probably get in the habit of actually like puzzling the turns out, but huge, man, the double damage Skewer. I literally looked at my hand with an attack in it and said no attacks, huh? It's gotta be you. You again, huh? Infinite Blades? Sure, I think that's fine. We'll play it. We'll play probably a Footwork, just to be on the safe side, even if it's like a little unnecessary. I don't think we need Corpse Explosion. We could rush you down. I mean, it's 45 damage. We basically did like... We did like 50 damage to you just with that. Now this is where... Well, let's just start with the obvious. This is messed up. Although, actually, it's totally fine because we have Fossilized Helix. This is where a Shuriken or a Kunai would go crazy. But, alas, we shouldn't really complain. Everything went very beautifully. I just don't... I can't shake the feeling that we don't need it, man. I think we got a great thing going as is. Phantasmal Killer for 0... I'd rather have one more Shiv, man. Like, Phantasmal Killer I know in my heart that I have to play it when I draw it. So making it cheaper, not necessarily bad, but maybe like not as necessary. I'm going to play all my shivs. I'm also going to play Predator. I'm going to end turn and hold Skewer. I feel like as long as we hold Skewer, we have like pretty good defensive capabilities. But I'm hoping that we don't need to play it until maybe the final turn, although it might be like outclassed by the final turn. You need accuracy. We need Phantasmal Killer. So dump a backflip. Blocks are just kind of hard to play here. Take a Corpse Explosion. Oh, no, then you can't play Phantasmal. So play Phantasmal. Keep Skewer. I'm not saying it's difficult to do what I'm doing here. I think that would be kind of ridiculous. But all, I guess, that I would say is I feel like we're piloting the run like pretty well. Considering we don't have a deck where we just play Poison and then play Catalyst, I think we're doing pretty well. And honestly, brother, you can just hit me because I've kept Fossilized Helix, so I'm not going to worry about that. I don't know. It's a little late for the Cloak and Dagger. Let's rest. And you obviously want to pop the Dex Potion early. And then maybe make you vulnerable. And a Corpse Explosion. So it's like it's too good to pass up. But the problem is I need you to still have some poison on you when you die. But I still think it's probably something you play and are excited to play. 14 block? 14 block. 14 block. Yeah, it basically blocks 10. I love seeing this arrow here. Can't wait for the Smiling Mask to really help us out in combat. When one defend means you only take 5 damage from an attack of 26, you know you're feeling okay. So you have to play Phantasmal. It's non-negotiable. And then your shivs are pretty weak without accuracy. That's okay. We got extra energy next turn, and we have double damage. So all we need to do is not draw 5 defense, and we're feeling pretty good. And a streamer that was less interested in being honest and more interested in providing entertainment would say, wow, that was a terrible draw. But me, I thought that was an amazing draw. And I entertained you by forgetting that we had Unceasing Top. So, good game, boys. I can live with that. Okay, first run is the Silent, in the books. Pretty good score for Ascension 1, if I may say so myself. But for now, thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the run. If you have, click the like button. I'm excited to do another journey here. Who knows, maybe we finish the Silent. We check out the Downfall mod that everybody says is incredible. But that could be like a month or more away. Probably more, but maybe not much more, hopefully. Thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks for your support. Click the like button if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you next time. See ya.